Tubers, Tibettes, and of course, crazy people. Hey, listen, if you're old and out of touch and don't know what's going on, welcome to the team. A couple of years ago, I heard the term passport bro, and all of a sudden burst on the YouTube scene where all these videos about these guys calling themselves the passport bros. It came out of nowhere, and I didn't know what the hell it was. And so I tried to look into it, and I still never really got a full grip on it. And then just a few days ago, I heard the term Passport Joe for the first time, and I heard the term Passport Joe during my interview that I just did and that you're about to witness. I would really encourage you to hang in there and listen and learn from this guy named El Guapo, who will not only enlighten you, but he will also entertain you. Okay, here comes my little interview with Mr. El Guapo. Well, as I said in the introduction, I am privileged to have the one, the only, El Guapo.
Hey, what's good, team? Salute
today.
and salutations, man. Man, what's up, Paul? How you doing, brother?
You are the man.
Man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, brother.
Don't ever grow up.
I know, right?
That's the secret.
I know, right?
So here's the dealio. I have been hearing the phrase, the term, passport bro.
Yes.
And I am confused.
Okay.
And I didn't know what the hell anybody was talking about. And so I tried to look it up, and it was the only thing I could get was men in America disenchanted with women in America.
Yeah.
Going to South America, going here, going Asia, going there. And I said, well, okay. And then all I saw were black guys. And I thought, okay, passport bros, that makes sense. It's only black guys that are doing this. Am I wrong? Am I right? Where are we at on this deal?
So
help me understand along with my audience.
I got you. Well, what's good, old dog crew? El Guapo here from the Beautiful Lies channel. I am honored to be here in Dumaguete City with my main man, Paul. You know I got an Uncle Paul?
Yeah?
Yeah. He's my dad's big brother.
Good man.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. So check this out. Passport Bros is something that started about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And it was primarily black American men that have decided to take their talents overseas, like LeBron James when he left Cleveland, okay? But it has evolved into a movement of men that are kind of just tired of the humdrum hamster wheel of the West. And I'm a patriot, dude. I'm a veteran. Yeah. You know that and everything. I love
a little bit about your background before we get going in.
Sure, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So I am a father of 4. I've been married 3 times, believe it or not. I actually have a Colombian wife now, Labea. Shout out to Labea. I love my wife. And she treats me like $1 million damn dollars. We have 1 son together, and that would be El Guapo Jr. My wife was not what all the things that you hear the detractors and the haters would say. She's not an uneducated, underprivileged woman from another country. She had 2 master's degrees when I met her. She was a professor in Colombia before she moved to the States, and I met her in the States. She made 6 figures when I met her, man. So
this is a total different spin from what I'm used to hearing.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Mostly guys that come over here or go over there to meet somebody, and yet you're over here yapping with me, seeing the world, and you're no dummy either.
I'm okay.
You have a successful business.
Yep.
You spent time in the military.
I'm an Air Force veteran, man. I'm a former pilot for the United States Air Force. Attended the United States Air Force Academy. So I do all right, bro. I do all right. You know what I'm saying? But here's what I'll tell you, man. I started my channel Beautiful Lies because I have 3 daughters. I have 3 black daughters. And the lies that are told to the Western women on what will make them successful in life and relationships, they sound good. In the black community, they call it soul food. It tastes real good, but it's really bad for you, clogs your arteries and everything.
Okay.
So I'll call it like soul food for your ears. They say all these wonderful things like, hey, be strong and independent. But in reality, life is not about independence. It's about interdependence. You know what I mean? So that is the highest form of human interaction that you can have. You know, they say a rising tide raises all ships.
Yes.
So just like me and you sitting here in the Philippines, you know, bringing our audiences together, we're raising everybody up. So I started the channel just as a video diary for my daughters.
Interesting, because I started mine as a video diary for my grandkids.
There you go. There you go.
True story. Those that have watched me for a while have heard the story.
Right, for a righteous reason. And look at what it turns into, because people need this information. So when it comes to the passport bros, you know, I've always said, and I believe there's one race, the human race. Yeah, we have some past, and we're going to have to, you know, get in the boxing ring and duke it out, and then we'll hug it out and everything will be fine.
Right.
But there's just the human race, man. When the aliens come, it's not going to matter, is it?
Right.
You know, so...
But we have a real common enemy.
Right, there you go. But, you know, they have the passport bros, but the white men that have gone and sought better options overseas, we call them the passport Joes, okay? And preceding that, you guys are expatriates, expats.
Right.
Okay? You guys are like 40 years ahead of us with this. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
They're and way ahead of me, too. I mean, it's just the guys that originally came over here at the war, and they started the whole movement without calling it anything.
Exactly.
Okay.
They were moving in silence back then.
They were moving in silence.
Yeah.
And so you guys have kind of picked up on that.
Right.
And how did you become aware of it? I mean, what sparked this?
So for me, it started in 2006. It was my first trip that I took internationally outside of the military. I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, fell in love with the country, fell in love with the culture, learned Portuguese, started doing business down there. And I realized that a lot of times America and the Western world, how we do things and how we operate is the exception, not the rule. And once I had that catharsis, it was like, man, you know, I evolved as a human being. And so I love going over and seeing new countries, experiencing new cultures. God did a real good job when he made mankind.
Yeah.
You know, people are generally pretty freaking awesome.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean? And so I think it makes you a better global citizen to go out and see the world, to see the Philippines. Gosh, these people are so kind and so fantastic here, you know, and you won't know it unless you come and see it.
Do you agree with me? I think that right now, I think for me, the first experience in Asia was 2005.
Okay.
And when I came home, I had a completely different perspective of not only my own little world, but the world itself.
Your perspective was recalibrated.
Dude, it was reset.
Yeah.
And I came home changed.
Yeah.
And I realized that because living in America as a spoiled American with all the opportunities that we were given for free, we tend to take things that are given for free for granted.
Exactly.
And then I came over here and I found out how the other half lives, for lack of a better term. And I watched people living from hand to mouth and the poverty, but I watched their attitudes and how they adapted to their situation, and how they managed to keep a smile on their face, and how family was so important. And it really, when your word is the best, it recalibrated me.
It does. It
and
does.
I think the best thing that you can do for your daughters, or any of us could do for our children, especially in their formulative years, where they're working their PlayStations, and their biggest drama during the day is, you know, Susie got a new dress and I didn't.
Shout out to Susie.
Shout out to Susie. Bring them over here.
Right.
And drop their asses off right in the middle of wherever, and let them see what the real world is like.
Give them that perspective.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And you know what it is, man? You know, success principles translate and success leaves clues. If it works here, normally it'll work there. The simplest solution is normally the best, okay? And when you see these folks here, when you see the folks in Thailand, when you see the folks in Cambodia, in Brazil, in Colombia, in the Dominican Republic, various parts of Africa, and you realize the things that are important, there's only two things, my Uncle Paul, that you can control in this life, is your actions and your attitude. And you need to take the action to go see the world so that you can calibrate your attitude to have a better understanding of the world. And that's what I would say. But, and that's what we're trying to do with this Passport Bros movement, man. You know, I'm trying to get my brothers and my brothers from another mother, you know, that are still stuck in the matrix, or I don't mean to get too incendiary on your channel. We say they're stuck on the plantation.
Okay.
We're trying to get them up and off, man, and get you to understand that there is freedom out there. You know, life does not have to be all about where you're tolerated, but it's okay to want more. We as men, we quash and suppress our emotions, and we sacrifice ourselves for the greater good of our families and mankind. But your emotions matter. Your feelings matter. And you deserve, if you've put in the work, to be taken care of into perpetuity, like Paul is, by your wonderful wife, May.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. And you found that.
I found that mine is Colombian, but yeah, absolutely.
Now, what do you hope for your daughters?
I hope for my daughters that they enjoy being women. You know, I hope that they enjoy and realize the power that they have being a feminine amplifier to a relationship. It's like the rocket fuel to a jet. Okay. You know what I mean? And I hope that they get married and give me grandkids and avoid a whole bunch of student loan debt and stuff like that, and enjoy their role, their place. You know, everybody can't be the quarterback, Paul. You know, if you try to get three guys under center, you know, somebody's not getting the ball. So I hope that they enjoy their role.
I love this guy.
You know, and that they do well, man, exceedingly well. And I try to teach them that. I really do.
Where are women missing the point in America right now?
That your power is in your femininity. That's where it is. It's not, there's nothing over here in masculinity for you. There just isn't. You know, embrace who you are. It literally would be akin to me trying to be a better white man than you are. Okay. It's ridiculous. It'll never happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or you trying to be a better, I'm a tall guy, a better 6'2" guy than I am. It's not going to happen. You're not 6'2".
Right.
So understand where you are and embrace it. There is power in where you are. And there is so much power. There have been wars that have been waged over the femininity of women. And you could have all the control in the world, but you want to come over here, it's like I'm driving the car and you're trying to get in the driver's seat with me and put your foot on top of my foot, pushing the pedals down, and put your hands on top of my hands, turning the wheel. Ultimately, we're going to crash.
Yeah. The role reversal of that was found outside of the country.
Agreed.
Okay. Where do you see it going? Where are the men right now in America? Where are they amongst all this? Where the women want to be behind the wheel, calling the shots,
right,
and saying when we're going, where we're going, how we're going.
So the sad reality is that it's projected by 2030, which we're 6 years away. It's 2024, 6 years away. It's projected that 45% of women are going to be single and childless in the United States by 2030. That is a horrid statistic. But if you know anything about evolution and Darwinism, survival of the fittest, you know, sometimes those that are not meant to remain within the fold have to kind of die off, man. Mm-hmm. You know, when it's all said and done, and it's not a hate thing, I consider myself a feminist, to be honest with you. I believe in empowering women to do great things, but in its purest form. You know, you do no good in life trying to blow out my candle and thinking yours is going to shine brighter. But here's the beautiful thing. My lit candle can light your candle that's not lit. And that's the power of collaboration versus competition. So I think that, you know, as Malcolm X would say, the chickens are coming home to roost. There's going to be a divine correction. You know, I know you're a believer and so am I. Mm-hmm. And God doesn't make mistakes, man. Things will get back to normal. It might take a few generations, but we'll be okay. I feel very bad for those that don't get to enjoy, you know, the beauty of having a legacy, of having a family, of being a part of something that actually matters. I make a ton of money in the United States. When I'm on my final breaths, none of that matters. What matters is awesome experiences like this, hanging out with you, you know, awesome experiences with my family. The money, the hours I've worked, none of that matters. And I just wish the ladies would understand that. Stop competing and start collaborating.
Men, are they frustrated? Are they unhappy? Are they had enough?
They fed up. They're completely fed up to the point that men are willing to live, lives without relationships with females. Yeah, which is crazy to me. I'm a Gen Xer. You're a baby boomer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would not happen in our generations. It's lunacy that is happening. But I get it. If you're not 6 feet tall, making six figures with a 600 horsepower car and packing six in the pants and all that stuff, man, they don't want you. And they're more than willing to let you know through nuclear rejection.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's uncalled for. Where you come here to the Philippines, and these women are so genuine, and they are so nice. And it's not a front, it's not a facade. That's how they naturally are.
Right.
And here's my fear. And I kind of got on you before. Don't get mad at me, but I'm going to say this to your audience.
Go ahead.
You are a wealth, a cornucopia, an overabundance of knowledge and wisdom when it comes to having a relationship overseas. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Most men, uninitiated, are going to come over here and be completely overwhelmed by femininity that they have never experienced before. And they can get themselves in trouble like that. I'm going to encourage you.
Oh boy, have they.
Yeah. I'm going to encourage you to listen, you have to invest in yourself. If you're going to take the trip, if you're going to be a part of the Passport Bro, the Passport Joe, the Blue Book Gentleman movement, I encourage you to reach out to Paul. Get a consultation. Paul needs to charge people for the consultation, okay?
I have a tough time.
I know. Your heart's in the right place. You're doing it righteously. But reach out to him so that he can help you avoid these pitfalls and these stumbling blocks that a lot of guys fall into. Because when you experience, okay, I can remember in the military, they make you go in the gas chamber, okay? So that if you're ever in theater and, there's a chemical weapon strike,
okay,
what it's like if you pull your mask off or you're without your mask.
They make you do that.
They make you do that.
Ooh.
It was beyond overwhelming. Imagine that on the positive side with the femininity. You've never experienced it before. You were like, oh, I've been pepper sprayed. No, it's different. It's different over here. So what I would say is a lot of these guys, you got to crawl before you walk. Filet mignon is excellent. It's delicious. But you can't feed it to an infant, and understand that you're in the infancy of this journey into finding true femininity. So you have assets like Paul that are here with this content. And I thank you, bro, for your channel, man. I thank you for your information share, because it's real. God, could you imagine if we had YouTube when we were growing up?
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, how many trials and tribulations we could have just bypassed.
I'd be a billionaire, baby.
I would be too.
Yeah, for real. For real.
One thing I just want to bring up on the channel, and we're going to get into his channel in just a second and what he does, because he's not here in Asia. You're all over the world. Right?
Well, I live in the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but I try to travel and show my audience as much as I can what the world is like. Yes.
Okay, cool. You may not even be into a relationship. You may be a guy that wants to just be alone, and that's okay. You're a solo person. You've been married, you've been divorced, you're widowed, whatever. You can come over here and just get out of the toxic environment. And if nothing else, shed a few layers of skin like a snake does and get that off of you. And then what happened to me was that was sort of my mindset. Yeah. I didn't even was looking for a woman anymore. The last thing I wanted to meet was a woman.
I know, you told me, yeah.
Dude, I was like cooked with women. I figured they're all the same. I know they're beautiful and everything, but still women are women. It took me 2.5 years to settle down and to find somebody. But just the mindset of walking through the mall, I see somebody, young, old, female, male. I'm speaking Philippines only. I smile at them and they smile back.
Crazy. It's crazy. You can't get a smile anyway. So one of my big things is I love my cologne. I love to smell good. I always say I smell better than I look, right? And so
I'll vouch for that.
Thank you, man. I'll take it. But here's the deal. In the States, it is such a rarity to get complimented on my cologne when in public. Do you know how many women have stopped me here and were like, excuse me, sir, because everybody, you're sir. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, sir, you smell so good. And, yeah, what are you wearing? Mm-hmm. And I get to tell them what it is. It's so it's so different, bro. It's so different. If I was single, I'm a happily married man, but if I was single, I would definitely be taking applications in the Philippines for a new wife. For sure.
I'll put my little spin on that. Is that over here, over time, I was able to relax on so many different levels. Mm-hmm. But one was, and I'm a married man, and I'm with my wife, an attractive woman walks by, I still look at her.
We're men first, bro.
Reptilian brain, man.
Yeah.
I can't help it. She just knows. And anyway, it's like a cool car going by. Mm-hmm. I can't help but look at it because it's a cool looking car.
Right.
So that being said, if I was to be walking down in the mall in America and I see an attractive woman and she's in her 20s and I look at her, I'm like afraid there's going to be a knee in my back and cuffs me and
I'm telling you, man.
Because I'm going to be accused of something. I have to be on eggshells walking around, and that reptilian brain kicks in and I have to fight the feeling.
Right.
Because I want to just take a glance, admire the mini skirt and be a man and move on with my day. But I could actually get verbally harassed.
Oh, yeah.
And hassled and called names.
Consequences and repercussions.
Put down.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I do not want to live my life like that. Now, do I want to come over here and be a monger? No. But I just want to be myself and get through it. And so there's just a relaxation portion of that. And once I got through that relaxation process, I was then all of a sudden open-minded, open, and willing to be vulnerable again.
Right.
You know, and men, like you said, we take our emotions and we stuff them down. And we take our fears and we stuff them down.
Yeah.
And we just choke on them. And I've said it 100 times, I quote that men lead lives of quiet desperation.
Bro, I've heard you say that, and it's so true.
And that's bills, and that's responsibilities, and that's being the man of the house and getting it handled and paying the bills and getting nothing in return.
Yeah.
There's no compliments. There's no nothing. There's no support. There's just more demand after demand after demand.
It's like you're a human utility.
Yeah.
You're not a human being. You know, one of the biggest things, and I want to leave this for your audience.
Please do.
Is that in the West, just by nature of what we go through, most men have a thin skin and a hard heart. One of the things that has changed me as a man through travel is it has forced me to develop a thick skin and a soft heart. I know that traveling has made me a better person, and I encourage you all to take the journey and undertake the rite of passage to be that better person and have that thick skin, to not take offense to so many things, and to have that soft heart for people of the world. You know, this thing is run off of love, not hate, bro.
I want to end this with him telling you where you can find more of him.
Okay.
I can listen to this man for hours on end, and I'm thinking by now you probably can too. So please tell us the name of your channel, who you are one more time, and we'll put a link to your channel in the description box. And you guys make sure, if you enjoyed this video, you're really going to enjoy the content that this man creates. And he's coming at it from a different perspective than I am.
Right.
He's going to different parts of the country. Obviously, he's from a different culture than I am.
Yep.
And we can all start to learn from one another. You and I have had nothing but, I think, a brotherhood kind of vibe since the minute we met.
Yeah.
You know, we are kindred spirits, man.
There's way more common between us than there is different.
Yes,
way
sir.
I
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And we both know that we have so much to learn from one another.
Yep.
And I feel just so blessed and fortunate to have made your acquaintance and call you my friend.
Man, I'll take it, man.
All right,
I'll take it.
So tell them about you.
Absolutely. My name is Guapo. I have a channel called Beautiful Lies. The easiest way to find me on YouTube is type in @Kingmaker Studios. Kingmaker Studios, plural. Just put the @ symbol, the ampersand, Kingmaker Studios, and you will find me. Really love what I do. I have an awesome team over there on Team Beautiful Lies. We are 56,000 strong, man. And we do a lot of stuff, man. We're teaching people to make $150,000 a year plus remotely through cybersecurity and being able to digital nomad. We are doing all kinds of business. We came to set the captives free. So feel free to join us over there. You are welcome. And I will be sending my audience over to Paul as well. Man, this has been awesome. Yeah. But this has been awesome, bro.
I'm going to put the link in. And once again, man, thank you so much.
I appreciate you, sir. Absolutely.
Passport bro.
Passport bro. President. I'm the president, baby.
Signing off.
We're out.